Hi everyone, it's Saray here. I'm so excited to share with you guys. So, my mother's book is only a few weeks away. So, here shortly, we're going to be able to purchase it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and as well as my website. So, I'm so excited. I'm going to do pre orders and it's going to start this Sunday for a special price. And once it's available at the end of November, it's going to go on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, like I mentioned, and it's going to go back to its regular price. So I'll talk about it towards the end of this video, but I definitely want to share with you guys why I wanted to write Mom's book and what it's all about. So basically, of course, it's about her life. It all started probably about 14 years ago. We were sitting in my apartment building and it was Easter Sunday. We just got home from church and we were in my living room, and my mother decided to say to me that I'm ready to share with you everything that I've been through. And I said, for sure, Mom, I'm there to listen, I'm there to support, and I know bits and pieces of it that she shared with me in the past, but I don't know the whole thing. So to my surprise, it was a lot to take in. I didn't know that I didn't know a lot of things actually. So it really makes sense growing up with her and witnessing certain things. But I pretty much went to bed that night with a stone in my heart, a big stone in my heart. I really didn't know how to deal with how I was feeling. I went to bed praying and, of course, just asking the Lord how to accept and just deal with all this that I've just learned about my mother, and just, it's definitely extremely present in today's world still. My mother her parents was extremely poor in Cambodia, and because of owing, money, and, unfortunate things happened. My mother was given up to a family to work at their home to pay out a debt that my grandfather owed. And she was there from 9 years old, and she was there for about 3 years. And when they did come back for her, she thought things would change, but actually, it went from there to her parents selling her into child prostitution, and then the war breaking out. And she talks about just all the situations of how she felt when her parents would come and visit her when she would work at this home. And then she talked about the lies they told, the situations that happened, the episodes that stained her life, and when the war broke out, and how she felt, and running for her life, and her being separated and being captured, being thrown in jail, beaten, and just all sorts of stuff. And she talked about how she escaped being held to work on the fields by the Khmer Rouge, and just her escape, and where she is today, and how she got into America, and I was just extremely overwhelmed with her story. And it's so unfortunate that you grow into a family, and even though you were poor, you don't really think that love will be affected by it at all. And the love that her parents had for her was something else that made her feel a certain way. And I was just very overwhelmed by it all. So I really didn't know what to do with her story. I just kind of just let it sit in my heart. And a couple weeks went by, and I'll never forget, I was at the gym and I was on a treadmill watching this TV in front of me. I had my headphones on and I was reading the subtitles on the screen. And it looks like there was kids running around. It was chaos. And it seemed like these people were coming in And I was saying to myself, because all of a sudden I remember my mom's story. And the kids, I'm looking at the kids on the TV, and I'm like, please, Lord, don't let it be Cambodia. Don't let it be Cambodia. Don't let it be Cambodia. And of course, it says in Cambodia, we go and rescue these kids and from these homes that are exploiting these kids. And sometimes these kids are brought by parents because debts need to be paid, or they're orphanage or abandoned. So I'm extremely shocked. I get off the treadmill, I go under the TV because I realized the volume was on, but it was on very light. So I'm under the TV, I'm listening to the thing, and I can hear these kids speaking in my language. They're crying, they're yelling, they're screaming out for help, and they're telling that lady these people are going to take me away, and not realizing that these people here are rescuing them. But to them, they are thinking, oh my God, here's another bad situation. And pretty much it just seems like these kids are brainwashed. And I was so heartbroken. I was like trying to hold back from not having a mental breakdown, like right then and there in the middle of the gym. I was so saddened by it. So I leave the gym, I'm in my car, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with all this information. So I sleep on it. All of a sudden I get this great feeling that I really, really want to write a book. I really want to interview my mom. I want to share this story. The world needs to hear it. I've never wrote a book. I don't know how to start, but I just need to start. So I figured I need to interview my mom. So I reached out to a friend that owned a camera. He brought his camera over. I told my mom what I wanted to do. I tried to explain my vision to her. I tried to let her feel inspired by her story. Like, don't feel condemned. Don't feel that this was something done to you just to be done. This is something to be shared, to empower, inspire, and also to bring light to what's going on. Even though this happened in her life a while ago, but human trafficking, child prostitution is still really present in today's world. There's a lot of people that are survivors that are growing up in emotional trauma, and there's a lot of things that they go through, because I witnessed it with my mother. So I interviewed her, and then I felt like it wasn't good enough, so I hired a Cambodian translator to speak in my native language, because I am like 60% good. So because I don't speak it all the time, I'm not that great, and there's words that I'm not expressing the right way that I want to. So I hired this woman. She comes over, she interviews mom. We're at her house, and I'm getting as much facts that I can to gather this together. So later on, I'm now in California, and I'm ready to push this book, and I'm so grateful. So after all that, I'm here now, and we're only weeks away from this book being in our hands. And I'm just so grateful, you guys, that it's here and I can share it with you. And I cannot wait for your support and your input, and I cannot wait to hear what you think, and for the world to be a part of this, and so we can be a part of healing and awareness. So I want to show you guys the book. I finished the cover, and the cover is a drawing from a picture that I had of me and mom when we were back in the camps. I was like 2 years old. So I don't have very many pictures of us, but here is one, and this is the one that I'm using. So it's gonna be this picture, her picture here, and I had my son, he's an artist, he's a very good artist, Xavier, and I had him draw a picture of my mother, but just half of her face. And then my title is called Through Her Eyes, and I'm so grateful that it's my mother's story. I get to write it, and my son gets to draw the picture. So we get to keep it all in the family, and I'm so grateful. So I want to read a little bit. I want to read the back of the book for you guys before I close this off. But here we go. Safe. That's what you feel when you are around your parents. When we come into this world and open our eyes, we know that there is unconditional love waiting for us. The last thing that crosses our minds is to worry about our parents. Yet, it was never that way for me. I never got to experience that love, while my childhood was a blur, full of hardship and difficulties. Since the day I learned to talk and walk, my fears were about something different altogether. For a better part of my life, I was not worried about losing my family. Instead, I was scared of what they might do to me next. Thanks to poverty, I was traded by my parents at a tender age of 9, robbing me from my innocence and childhood. Confused, I kept waiting on a miracle, and it finally came. 3 years later, my parents returned for me. Only this time, I was taken to another place, a place that stripped all that I held near and dear to me. As my life began to crumble apart at my feet, so did my country. I went from one hell working in the fields to another hell where I sold my body off. Things changed consistently in my life. But apart from the horror that was my life, only one thing stayed consistent: running. First, I was running from my parents, and then I was running for my life. Thankfully, I learned to fight back. I realized that my body will continue to fight back as long as my soul took the lead. It is the spirit and the courage that lets you march on, despite everything you go through. This book is about the many lessons I have learned, and I hope that it will serve as a reminder and inspiration for you, that you too have what it takes to fight back. There it is, guys. I'm so very, very grateful. And again, this book is going to be available this Sunday for pre-orders for $19.99 on my website. Otherwise, it'll be available at the end of November, and you can purchase it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and it will go back to its regular price, which is $29.99. And again, proceeds are donated. I am so excited to share this with you guys. Please share this post. Thank you guys. Leave your comments. Definitely ask me questions. God bless you guys, and thank you for just hanging in and listening to this long video. I'm grateful. God bless you guys. And if I forget anything, just question me on my message. So anyways, I am appreciative. I'm so grateful. And God bless you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.